So I had a few questions from another doctor that's considering ModMed. So I'm going to do a deep dive into ModMed. This is my actual login screen. This is a test patient. So I want to explain a few things. So currently, my workflow, I use my iPad. Okay. So, but we have desktops. So the first question he had is, do I have to have iPad? And they try to tell you to get the iPad. So let me explain the pros and the cons. We have desktops for each doctor, and then in the treatment rooms we have desktops so we can look at X-rays and look up things on the computer. Now that I've switched to the AI scribe, I find that the iPad works better. It works better for a couple of things. The kind of the cool thing is with this, it logs in with your finger, so you don't have to log in every time. Also, on the iPad, it syncs with our PACS system, so I can show X-rays and things like that with the iPad. If I was going to do ModMed Scribe, there is a newer version that works with a cell phone if you have like an M2 chip. So if you have you could probably just do the ModMed Scribe just with the phone now and not get the iPads, and you could use the phone and the desktops. In the beginning, they were trying to push everyone to do the iPads. We have the iPads. I think the iPads work because I can show X-rays, and I'm opening up my computers a lot less. So that's about that. Okay. Also, so I had some questions about how to do notes. So now, when I have a scribe, the AI scribe, it'll record. It can record the HPI. It'll pull things into the exam. It's kind of beyond the focus here of this to show you how to do that. But I want to show a couple of things that you can do pretty easily. One's called protocols. So protocols are like macros. And so the protocols have all the x-rays and all the different treatments that I do. So on the iPad, I can pull up a protocol and I can just pull in, for example, buy and bill Qtenza, Cantharon on wart. I have things for IND, for matrices. So everything that you do, when you're doing a note, you can just save it, okay? And you can save it as a protocol. So that's one thing that you can do when you're doing the note. As you're finishing the note, there's an option that you can save that as a protocol. So it's pretty easy to do. In terms of adding impressions and things like that, it's pretty easy. You would figure out whatever diagnosis. Let's say if we're doing onychomycosis, and there's counseling, there's toenail debridement, there's different prescription medication management, more of a billing thing to say that you started or stopped or continued a medication. And then a lot of times we're doing for 25 codes, you're doing separate and identifiable. So if it's you're going in more in depth, you've decided on a cortisone that day, things like that. So you can also order tests like LFTs. You can order terbinafine. The nice thing about the prescription, and so let me just show you here for prescriptions, you can you can save different favorites. So you can look up the prescription. You can also add your favorites. So you can see my favorites. I have like Augmentin, ceftriaxone, Celebrex, Ciclopirox, clobetasol, doxycycline. And you can also check your prescription management. So if you're doing some surgery, you can check that out. Okay. So that is this is kind of the back end. The nice thing is when you start to bill things, the billing will show up right in here. So that's kind of a neat thing. And it'll say kind of what level of visit, and then you can tweak it to kind of get better levels of visits if you need to. And that's kind of beyond this. The one little cheat sheet that I have is they gave me these things. It's called Podiatry Plan List. If you look at this, I don't know if you can see this Podiatry Plan List. These were from ModMed. This is what I use as my cheat sheet. It's two little pieces of paper, and I write little notes on them. So like everything I need is right on these two little pieces of paper. And those are the ones they gave me. Now, in terms of training, we decided to do the live training with Kenya, who came over. It was worth it. She came in, helped our staff. The staff did the training. We did our training. It's really bad getting used to any EMR. I just want to let you know that. But we've been happy with it now. He asked, so the doctor that asked a couple of other things about it. Asked about, like, do I need Clara? So let me go over Clara quick. So what Clara is this is the inbox for Clara. Here's a couple of things. These are some conversations, okay, with patients. But you have an inbox, and then the staff usually does this. I don't even do this. Once in a while, they'll send me stuff to take care of, but usually the staff is running this inbox. And so the neat thing with this is that when patients come to our website, and a couple of things they can do, as you can see here, they can contact us. They can send a photo. This is really just going to go to a text number that'll go to Clara so that Clara will get those texts. Another way that they can do it is they can call right here. Now, the neat thing is when our phone number goes to voicemail, it actually sends it to Clara. It transcribes it and it sends it to Claire, and then the staff can. So everything is in that one bucket. And also, if they want to make appointments, they can click this button, and this goes to Clara as well. And this is an online scheduler. My patients really appreciate this portion of Clara. So if they're a new patient, established, or we have this urgent care that we've been kind of focusing on. And so you can see really no one's available this week because it's like a holiday week. So we're all kind of busy. This is one office, Westboro office, so we're all kind of busy. Actually, let me pick all the providers here. Actually, I'll just pick me. So in Westboro, my first available is July 20th, which is kind of, I guess it's because it's a holiday time. But in Worcester, I have a little bit more availability, I guess, later on. But this is how that works for making appointments for patients. I think we're kind of booked up because it's the holiday weekend. Okay. But this is how they do the online booking. So that's that. This is the Clara. Someone asked me about Bonsai as well. So Bonsai is an add-on. I think it's, I don't know, so many $100 per month, but it's really worth it. So I think we maybe pay 400 per provider or something like that. So you can see here our results. We've been doing it since April, and now it's in June, April, May, June. So 2 months, they've made 228 appointments. So it does a couple of things well. It recalls patients that Clara doesn't get to. So Clara sends out like text messages if they cancel appointment or don't make another appointment when they're supposed to, but it stops after a couple of messages. And this just has an automated schedule of like 6 contacts. I think they're like every 2 to 4 weeks apart via text message and then via email. And so it logs into the EMR, pulls that thing down, and so you can see these booked appointments have an estimated revenue, but this is just estimated, but this is the actual collected revenue. So I can pull into from the EMR how much we've actually collected. So you can see here estimated revenue and pay collected up to this point. So for different types of diagnoses, patients are coming back that haven't made their appointments. And this is the kind of the revenue for these things. Okay. So this is kind of a powerful thing. If I could have one thing like 5 or 10 years ago, it would have been this thing. So this is really worth it. Someone else asked a little bit about reports. I don't want to go too much of a deep dive with reports, but they use this thing called, I don't know it's got a name to it. I don't know exactly what it is, but I have some saved reports here under bookmarks. So you can see my monthly production, the fill percentage rate. This is an email list that I made for the last 3 months when I pull in the emails into our contact manager for sending out emails, referral docs and collections, and notes not done. So these are things that you can make. I'm just going to show you one of these. I think it's going to pull it up, I guess. So this is a report that I made because I wanted to market to referring doctors that refer to us because I wanted to see how many referrals they gave us. So you can organize it by the amount that each doctor refers in the last, I think it's the last year. Yeah, 1 year. So so I try to give more attention to these higher value doctors. Okay. So this is not patient stuff. There is patient stuff in here as well. You can go through billing things. So this is how the reports work. It takes some time to learn how to do these. There are some other reports here as well that you can do. Cosmetic self-pay or self-pay patients. These are a couple that we saved, but you can do a lot of others. I think they say it's going to be getting better, these reports. In terms of online review requests, we do not use Clara for the online review requests. We use something else called Swell. Okay, that's what we use. And then the last thing I want to show is this doctor was wondering, frankly, what we pay. So if ModMed is looking at this, sorry, but I'd like to be very clear. And this is one of our recent invoices. So he asked what type of plan we had. So we have ModMed Records Exchange. So this is so we can get the records. So it's $250 a month. We have ModMed Scribe. So I think we got a discounted rate for the first provider, early adopter. So it was $144. The second one is $299. We have patient intake, which is $125 for 4 times 4. We can do, it's like an iPad thing. Self-scheduling, $125. And then Podiatry Select Solution Physician Authorized User, and that's 900. So this is our like monthly bill, which is a little over 5,000. And then we also have the based on like how much we bill, we get another bill. So we get like 5,000 a month there. And then there's another little one that I think is for like the billing, I think. I think it's separate. But anyway, this is what we do for the bill. Okay. So this is what we do. We've been pleased with ModMed, and it's a lot less expensive than what we were using with Athena. So this is kind of the one we have. So hope this was helpful for those that are considering ModMed.